Welcome to r/Bestof Redditor Updates, where OP reports her father to the cops for being a P-word. Our next Reddit post is from r/Am I the Butthole? Am I the butthole for telling my parents that if they won't tell me the truth, I'll assume the worst of them? So I'm a 14-year-old girl, and my family totally exploded while I was on spring break 2 weeks ago. I went on a trip with my grandparents, and I came back to my mom moved out and a serious sit-down talk about them divorcing. It's not exactly a surprise because they've been acting weird and shady for a while, but that was not what I was expecting to come back to. They could have at least let me unpack first. They asked me if I had any questions, and I asked them which one cheated because that was my first thoughts. They got super uncomfortable and said that the reasons between them were private. I said, not when it means that I suddenly lose my family over it. They owe me some kind of explanation, and simply, we don't love each other anymore doesn't cut it. You don't just stop loving someone for no reason. That's dumb. So what is it? They said that was all I needed to know, and we need to talk about how the living situation was going to work and everything. I told them that I don't want to live with either of them if they're going to be like that. Everyone's been mad since then, and my mom came over to talk it out last night. They still don't want to tell me why they're getting divorced. I told them both that if they were going to hide stuff, then I'll just make up my own worst case scenario and go with that. Since my mom's leaving, I can just assume that it's all her fault. Since it's her fault, I won't live with her or go see her. She got upset, said that I was being unfair and that it wasn't her fault. I told her to give me the real reason then or just deal with it. My dad said that I was out of line, so I said, okay, I'll just assume it was your fault and I won't live with you then. This started an argument between the two of them, but I'm holding my own. I'm pretty sure at least one of them will crack and tell me what happened soon so I can decide how I feel about it. I don't need the graphic details, but a simple, someone cheated, or mom is a secret lesbian, don't tell anyone, or we both really change a lot and we don't like the same things would help. If one of them did something bad, I want to know. If they won't own up or explain why there are no bad guys, then they can both be the bad guy. I had to talk to my school counselor today, and she said that it's totally understandable, but playing them against each other is going to hurt everyone. So, am I the bad guy? So a little while later, OP posts an update to explain that she knows how to access all of her parents' accounts because everyone in the family uses the same password for all their accounts. So she basically went into full detective mode and went through all of their emails and accounts and just tried to piece together what happened. Just on what I've found, they've been planning to break up for more than a month. This was not a last-minute thing. My mom rented her apartment 3 months ago. I have the entire email chain about it between her and her new landlord, and another set of DMs about it between her and her parents setting up this trip to get me out of town for the move. My grandparents also lied to me for the entire trip. My dad has lied to his job on multiple occasions, and I have the Expedia receipts and texts to prove it. Also, it's looking very much like they're both cheaters. I'm just researching the timeline and partners now and finding additional supporting evidence so they can't claim that it's not true. Right now, they can come clean that they both effed up massively, and we can figure out if I trust them again, or good riddance to the trash. Then, OP posted another update. Okay, I get it, I deserve a butthole verdict. That's okay. I did some digging on my own tonight, and I know pretty much what happened now. So I do not feel bad about being a butthole to buttholes. Thanks. Then people are begging OP to tell them what happened, so OP replies, both of my parents are cheaters. My mom is stalking her ex-boyfriend and his wife and trying to break up their marriage. My dad is screwing one of his 17-year-old athletes and other people. I got the receipts, and I reported the 17-year-old thing because that is not even remotely okay. Things crashed and burned with my dad on Friday, and I haven't heard from him since then. I worked out stuff with my grandparents, and they believe me that my mom is lying to them. I'm living with them right now, and they're figuring things out with my other grandma to make a permanent plan. My mom is mad that I wouldn't go to her place after the blow-up, but I've already told her that I don't want to talk to her for a while. The cop said that I can stay where I am at the moment. That's where we are right now. It sucks, but it would be worse if I didn't know and had to keep on living with them with all this stuff going on. I'm glad that I didn't listen to some people here and just let it drop. I'm glad to know that all the weird stuff I've noticed over the last year was real and not made up like my parents told me. I'm glad that my dad can no longer be gross towards his players anymore. I'm okay being the butthole here just for that reason alone. Then, 3 days later, OP posted an update. Family therapy was a fiasco. I told the counselor that I didn't want to participate and I'd rather go stay in the lobby. After she tried to convince me to stay in the room, she just let me leave. My parents told me I was grounded if I didn't stay. The therapist talked to them alone for a while and then we left. I am not grounded and they are big mad. I still have to go to therapy weekly, but I don't have to stay in the room. I have to go to an individual counselor next week and I'll see what happens when I refuse treatment then. Hopefully, I won't have to go back. Man, OP, you are amazingly stubborn for a 14-year-old. And when I say stubborn, I don't mean that in the critical sense. I know that stubborn has kind of a negative connotation. I don't know what a better word is. Defiant, self-assured, strong-willed. You are incredibly strong-willed, OP. My mom cracked last night like I thought that she would, but she only admitted to my dad cheating. I am so done with both of them. I was going to spend a month with each set of grandparents this summer anyways, so my parents agreed to just let my home base be my grandma's house until the fall. Hey, at least my grandma's happy. I talked to my other grandparents after Shabbat dinner, and I told them that I know they lied to me. They apologized and we talked. I'm sleeping over with them this weekend and we'll hash some things out tomorrow. I feel like something I've learned this week is that some people really get mad when I resist being controlled. Apparently, being a good kid and doing the right things don't matter unless I shut up and do what I'm told. I'm not going to stop doing the right things, but I feel pretty much done with shutting up and obeying. A lot of people said that I would regret knowing the truth, but I don't. Happy isn't the right word. I'm tired and really disappointed and angry. Now I know who I'm dealing with, and I feel better knowing that I wasn't imagining things like my parents said. Then, OP adds more updates down in the comments. Both of my parents are cheating. Both are angry at each other over it. Which is stupid. It wasn't like an open situation, they just cheated. My dad bullied one of his partners into getting an abortion last year. One of the people he's cheating with is under 18. He's doing stuff that's going to get him on some kind of list and probably in jail if he gets caught. My mom is trying to break up her boyfriend's marriage because she thinks that he'll move in with her then. She's done some really sad and crazy stalker things, and it's scary. Then, 4 days later, OP makes a post in rSlash legal advice. For the record, I'm under 18, so I'm sure that affects what I can and can't do here. This is something that needs to be handled by grown-ups, but I would be reporting on a family member, so I need to protect myself from the fallout. A close adult family member is having intercourse with a minor. Not like a few years age difference thing, like decades. I know the right thing to do would be to report it, but I need to do it anonymously. I found the texts and I have screenshots of them. Is there a way that I can get this information to the appropriate authorities without being identified? Would they even do anything with anonymously sent screenshots? How likely is it to be tracked back to me once it's in the open? Then OP posts an update to that post. My rabbi offered to contact someone whom he trusts in the police department and sat with us while I gave a statement yesterday. I gave the cop a thumb drive with the screenshots. It's all stuff that would be easy for the cops to verify themselves if they had a warrant, I think. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's out of my hands now. He also gave me a phone number to call for help if things go sideways and I don't feel safe. So now, I think I'm just gonna hunker down and try not to think about it. Then, about a week later, OP posted another update. Things blew up this weekend. I wasn't home when everything happened, so I missed most of the fireworks, but I've gotten the story through family. My dad got suspended from his job on Friday. The cops took him in. He's now out on bail, but my grandparents told me that it's serious. Everyone in the family is all riled up, mostly at my dad. Apparently, word got out in the public since he's a teacher and a coach, so it's a circus. My mom showed up to tell me what happened and to take me to her place, but I told her that I didn't want to go. My grandparents talked her out of it, so I'm staying with them. I haven't heard from my dad. My other grandma, my dad's mom, came over yesterday, and I feel really bad for her. This is the saddest I've seen her since my grandpa died. No one seems to know that I was the one who reported it. I don't know what happened with the girl, but I'm guessing she admitted stuff was happening, so I hope she's okay. I don't know where things are going to go from here, but I've told all of my grandparents that I don't want to live with my mom. Living with my dad doesn't seem like an option right now, but I don't want to go there either. They said that we'd figure it out together. I told my grandparents on my mom's side last weekend that I don't think she's being honest with them, and they believed me. The cop I talked to said that as long as I'm in a safe place with people who are looking out for me, it's not likely that anyone is going to make me go back to my parents without a lot of legal wrangling. So as long as my grandparents are okay with it, I should be okay. I've got a summer job in the works, so I'm just going to focus on that and lay low, I think. Save up everything I can. This whole thing is a mess, and I feel like I'm stuck in a nightmare a lot of the time, but I'm not sorry that I found out the truth. Wow, that was a hell of a story. One thing that really sticks out to me is that even in the very first post, before OP understands who cheated on who and what the actual situation was, there was a lot of animosity from her towards her parents. And yeah, I understand that 14-year-olds are typically rebellious and they have a lot of friction with their parents, but she's just so ready to throw away her parents that indicates to me that this has been brewing for a long, long time. Generally speaking, 14-year-olds don't just throw away both their parents entirely because they're getting a divorce. So what I'm guessing here is that there's some subtle abuse that OP probably doesn't fully understand enough to articulate in this post. So she feels it on an emotional level, and it's making her not like her parents. So then when this hit the fan, she was fully primed and ready to just throw both of her parents away. Right? Because don't you think her reaction seems a little bit extreme just on the surface level? I think there's something else that has been building up to push her to this level. So in addition to being stalkers and cheaters and the forbidden P word that I can't say on YouTube, I have a pretty good guess that these parents are also terrible parents. I'm also amazed that OP was able to sell out her father. I'm not saying that she should or shouldn't have done it. I'm just saying I don't think most 14-year-olds would have been able to do what she did. OP, you are insanely strong-willed. I'm glad that at the very least, you have your grandparents to fall back on because, oh my God, your parents are just a mess. They're a hot mess. Your mom is toxic, your dad is even more toxic, and in my opinion, he belongs in jail. This next story is a late update to a story that I already covered. In that story, OP was basically kidnapped for a proposal. She was at the park exercising and 3 guys pulled up in a van, threw her in the van, tied her up, and she was so terrified that she literally peed her pants. Then they drove OP to this cabin where the boyfriend was going to propose, and the boyfriend was horrified to find out that this happened. Well, anyways, the cops got involved, and now, sometime later, OP posted an update. I apologize for going missing in action. I saw my story posted on r/Bestof update, so I finally logged back in. I have a lot that I wish that I could tell you all, but unfortunately, due to legal consultation, it's best I keep a lot of it private. In short, I'm healing. My now fiance had a private proposal with me last week. We had many tough conversations, and his responses to everything reminded me how safe and loved I am by him. He didn't ask for or endorse that type of plan. I've learned that his 2 friends, whom I didn't know, were highly influenced by YouTube pranksters and social experiment channels. Also, one of them let us know that he's on the spectrum and he apologized for his part in the prank. I think that's all I can share for now. I'm currently only consulting with a lawyer and I may or may not press charges. OP, okay. I don't know if you're going to hear this. I don't know if one random YouTuber's opinion is going to make any difference, especially since stupid YouTubers got you into this problem in the first place. But these people deserve to have charges pressed against them. These people traumatized an innocent girl. They have to be punished for it. And I realize it's entirely within your right to press or not press charges. I don't want to pressure you necessarily. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to say what you should do. I'm trying to say what they deserve, and they deserve to be punished. I really wish your local prosecutor would just pursue criminal charges automatically because what these 3 guys did to you was awful, disgusting. They deserve to be in jail, in my opinion. At the very least, I'm glad that you're healing, OP, and it's a relief to find out that your fiancé had nothing to do with this stupid prank. I think the important lesson to learn from this is that YouTubers are stupid and no one should ever listen to them under any circumstances. I'm dumb. I'm just some dude with a microphone and a computer. Don't listen to me, man. None of you should ever listen to me or any YouTuber ever. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, be sure to like and subscribe this video. That was r/Best of Redditor updates, and if you like this content, check out my podcast where I publish the exact same episodes. Also, hit that subscribe button because I put out new Reddit videos every single day.